What's up, everybody? What's up, family? Welcome back to Born to Create. Now, for those of you who don't know, Born to Create is a simple concept. If who or what you want to be doesn't exist, you go out there and create the life that you want, because we were all born to create. So I have my brother on the line or on the video. So Kenny Daniels, we met. Has it been 2 years yet? I think
It's almost been 2 years. You met at that ClickFunnels event in
Orlando. It's been 2 years, and we connected. I think we even had lunch, and we just built a relationship there. So I want to bring you on to share some nuggets with our people, and talk about creativity. To talk about the reason why we're here on this earth to build. So again, thank you for being on. Thank you for coming on to share. So let's dive right into it. So talk to us. Tax reduction strategy program, right? .com. That's your business. So talk to us on how you're helping business owners really get set up properly.
Yeah. So when it comes to the tax reduction strategy program, that's an online program which helps small business owners save on taxes and get their business set up properly the right way. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that get into this game, but they don't know how to set up the business foundation right the first time. And they end up overpaying on taxes. They end up, not doing their accounting properly and doing all the things wrong, where at the end of the year, when it's tax time, they end up with a whole bunch of junk. They're confused. They're making money, but they're not keeping that money. So, we decided to create a program where basically, we talk to these new business owners and people who are overpaying on taxes and really educate them about the tax system and how exactly it works, because it's almost like it's such a taboo subject. You're never taught this subject in school. You never taught this subject in college or anywhere really. And, some of the most wealthiest people in the world know how to leverage the tax system and use it to their advantage. So for us to create a comprehensive course and program to allow the new business owner to really learn this type of stuff and really understand how to leverage the tax codes, we're helping them save on taxes and keep more money in their pocket at the end of the day.
Okay. Which is a great. Keep more money is great. I mean, I need that for myself. We all want to keep more money. So
we can make all we want, but we got to keep our money at the same time, right?
Right, exactly. So that's what you created for yourself. Now let's rewind and back up, because most people, they want the business. They have a business to come to you so you can help them with it. Where did you start? Where did you realize that, hey, I can create a business, I can create a life? Tell me how you got into entrepreneurship and how you got into business.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, how I got into entrepreneurship was I was a high school football player when I was in high school, and we ended up winning the state championship. And it was during that year I ended up tearing my labrum, and I expected to go to college and actually play ball and do that full thing. So I decided not to go to college, and I decided to go right down to Cal Baptist in Riverside.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And I actually was looking to do physical therapy.
Okay.
And so I started in that full degree program, and it just wasn't for me. Nothing was clicking. It was just not for me. And my mother was actually an entrepreneur, and she started an accounting firm. So I've always known about entrepreneurship, but it really wasn't activated in me until I took my first marketing class as a general education. Okay. And once I took that first marketing class, it just clicked for me. I was like, man, this marketing stuff is fascinating.
Right.
And I started getting ideas and different things like that. And I said, you know what? I want to start a business, but I'm not sure exactly what I want to start. Okay. And I started kind of looking at what was I good at. Yeah. And during high school, people would always tell me like, yo, Kenny, you're fresh, you're fly. Like, I love the stuff that you wear, yada, yada, yada. I said, why don't I just start an online clothing store, an e-com business, and let me just start selling stuff. And it was just an idea. I was 20, I think I was 20 or 19 or something like that.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I basically went down to the trade show. I got a business credit card, and I started buying inventory from different companies, from from Hurley to Mink Pink for women to Ruka to all these different brands at like 20 years old.
Wow.
And I just had this crazy idea that I could build this huge online e-commerce business, you know? So it came from a place of looking for a sense of purpose, because sports was my purpose. Yeah. And I fell into marketing just by happenstance. Yeah. And I combined it with something that I loved at that time. I didn't look at it as if, oh, I got to find something I'm good at. It was more or less, what do I love and what do I enjoy? How can I collide those two things together? And that was the start of my journey.
Okay. So when you got into the e-com business selling clothes, so how was the journey? Was it good, bad, ugly, smooth, terrible?
It was, you know, there's this quote, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
Okay.
You know, and that ride taught me everything when it came to business. It was, the business did well. It did well. It was the fact of the inventory management that was tough for us. And that was before the huge drop shipping, different things like that. I was straight buying inventory and flipping it.
Wow. Okay.
You know, so we did pretty well with that business. We hit about 6 figures, but we kind of topped out at that point. Yeah. And it was probably when I was maybe 2 years after college where I just let the business go. I said, you know what, I'm going to start moving into something else. Yeah. But what the e-commerce business taught me was, it taught me how to market extremely well. Yes. And that's where I started to leverage my marketing skill set. Yes. And then that kind of whipped me into my next business. Yeah. But there were so many different lessons that were learned that was invaluable being 19, 20 years old, you know?
You were 19, 20 years old doing 6 figures in a business. So how did that shape your mindset? I mean, because just for the sake of censoring, I won't tell you what I was doing at 19, 20 years old for the sake of censoring, but I was nowhere near in the entrepreneur space. You know, it was partying and all that. You know? So how did that shape your mindset to push you to where you are now? Because I mean, most people aren't doing that at 19 years old. I mean, they're not. They're doing the opposite. Right. So I know you saw your mom as an entrepreneur, and I know that was a little seed planting in the back of your head, you know, on what could be done. But from there to where you are now, how has that shaped you and helped you build to where you are now?
It was, you know, the process was, I don't know. It was just this fire in me that was burning. I just saw so many, I got fascinated with some of the GOATs. I love Kobe Bryant. I love Tom Brady. I love, you know, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world. And it was just this fascination of how these people built their own life, took their own path and did it their own way. And I never looked at my age as a barrier to get there. I just looked at the end goal and said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there.
That's powerful. And
it was just a fascination of you know, the Alexander the Greats. I watched movies like that, and just the glory of the final conqueror, Muhammad Ali. I was just fascinated with those stories. Yeah. And it just kind of shaped the way my mind worked. And that's kind of what put me on that path. I was more fascinated with that than partying, you know?
Yeah.
One of those things.
That's great. And, you know, the age thing works in both dynamics. Some people think they're too young and some think they're too old.
Absolutely. 100%.
So it works both ways.
100%.
And so let's talk about your mom and how she was an entrepreneur. What did she teach you? You know, I mean, as far as entrepreneurship, I mean, I know you watched, but were there any specific things that you know what, like this is what my mom did that pushed me, to help me, you know, grow or even want to be in the entrepreneur space? Was she one of your mentors?
Yeah, you know, the one thing, she taught me multiple things. You know, the number one thing was toughness. Yeah. You know, it's going to take a sense of grit to tell yourself that you're going to accomplish something no matter what hell or high water. I'm going to get this done, no matter if employees are against me, no matter if, you know, I have family issues, no matter if, you know, I'm down to my last daughter. It was just that unrelentless nature that was taught. Number one, it was patience and trusting the process, and seeing her go from, our house, working out of our house, to building a 7-figure accounting firm, to having 25 plus employees, and seeing that process. It taught me unrelentless patience, and how this game is a marathon and it's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
And you have to be willing to go through the fire,
right.
and be okay with it. Because you're gonna get bruises, you're gonna get shots on your face, but you got to be willing to go through the fire.
That's a telltale. I mean, and the fire is hot.
Right.
People don't, they know it's hot, but once you touch that fire and you experience the burns and the pains and the adversities of business, it builds you. It builds your character. It builds who you are. And for most people, it kind of breaks them. But for the ones who can stick in there and enjoy the process, that's what counts. So, marketing. There are millions of business owners, small businesses, in just the U.S. alone, right? Probably just between I heard between OC Riverside is like 4.4 million small business owners.
I believe it, absolutely.
It's crazy,
yeah.
But the majority of them are not successful. And in my opinion, I'm asking you, it comes down to marketing your brand, your product, your service, right? It comes down. A lot of business owners don't believe in marketing. I just open my doors and put an open sign, and everybody's going to flood.
Yeah, flood the gates, and everything's going to be working.
And the example, my brother opened a eclectic clothing store in a local swap meet. That I'm opening doors, and then it's going to run in. And 6 months later, they'll struggle, right? And it's all marketing.
Yeah, huge.
So, you've been featured on lead pages, which is a huge marketing platform. So, I want to say you're an expert marketer because no one just gets put on lead pages, right? No.
Absolutely.
Talk to us as business owners about the importance of marketing your product, brand, and service.
I mean, at the end of the day, you could have the best product in the world. If nobody knows about the product, it's nothing. It just sits in the attic.
Yeah.
So with my whole concept of marketing, I truly believe if we're not spending money, we're not making money. And the business owner, really, usually the older business owner, just business owners in general, they have an issue with spending money and not knowing if they're going to get that money back, and taking that anxiety and not being sure, not being confident with it. But you have to get the word out about your business if you plan to achieve another level, to hit another success. Spending money is huge when it comes to your advertising and marketing.
Yeah. And as far as the marketing challenge, because like you mentioned, the old school business owner who's been in business for years, they're still doing ads in, I'm going to show you the yellow pages, the newspaper, taking out these dying medias. What platforms have you been successful on marketing your business?
Yeah, definitely. Number one's been Facebook. We're huge on Facebook. I would say the number two one that we've been really experimenting and been doing an excellent job is YouTube. I think especially if you're in a business where if you're in a knowledge business where people are out there searching for information, I think YouTube is huge for you to be on and start creating consistent content. And Facebook in this day and age, a lot of people say the ad costs are going up, this and that. We're getting $+ leads. It just comes down to great creative and a great product. Put it in front of the right customer, and you can get X, the X goal. So Facebook and YouTube has been huge for us. But as per a small business who owns a brick and mortar store, I think definitely Facebook activations are huge, but even in-person events that you can throw and invite local people out, which we've done for our accounting firm and I've done for other different brick and mortar stores, is huge in building a sense of community.
Community is huge. And I think it's more like, because I've heard the same thing, Facebook, the costs are going up, and, we're running a campaign now, and cost per click is like 10 cents, right? Which is
Ridiculous.
like,
Yeah.
I would take that all day, right?
All day.
And if you guys don't know, I mean, that's like that's like really, really good when it comes to marketing. I mean, a dollar per lead and 10 cents per click is amazing. And we're running purchase conversion ads, right? It's like you're getting 10 cents per click. So the opportunity is still there, right? And I think I mean, social media can be our biggest blessing and biggest curse, right? Because if someone posts something, Facebook cost or marketing cost or don't advertise on Facebook, people don't believe that, right? People don't believe that it's going to cost you, it's going to cost you $1,000 to market on Facebook. Yeah, it may cost you that much to reach millions of people, versus spending $10 million on a Super Bowl ad, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With the same potential reach, right? Because people are tuning out to commercials and radio. I mean, I think in a sense it still works a little bit, but more people are on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube or on these platforms, sharing their life, and they're not looking to buy things on these platforms. So I think for us it's an advantage because there's no prejudgment, right? Because they're not looking. Even a friend of mine, we were talking about the other day, billboards, right? How I think billboards are pointless to a certain extent. Only if you're a branded company like McDonald's or whatever, because you see the arches, okay, McDonald's, right? For a regular mom and pop shop, I mean, I think billboards like $7,000 a month for a billboard. I mean, they're especially over in Orange County, right?
Right, exactly.
Take that money and put into Facebook and YouTube, but it comes down to a mindset, right? I mean, it's all about the mindset. So talks about mindset, talks about how your mindset has developed, some of your mentors, and just mindset.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, first of all, to your point, I think that any small business owner, just kind of touch on the advertising point, should invest in direct response advertising when it comes to the billboards and just brand advertising and magazines and stuff like that. Huge. You need to be on Facebook where you put $1 in, you see $5 out. There needs to be that direct response aspect, which is huge.
Right.
When it comes to the mindset of an entrepreneur, it just really comes down to, I think the number one trait of a great entrepreneur is grit, and when you really look up the term grit, it's going through a painful situation, but still having a positive outlook and not giving up. Yeah. And you're going to advertise one day and the money's not going to come back in your bank account. And you have two decisions. It's either, all right, let me wrap this thing up, Facebook doesn't work, or let me get up to bat one more time and let me try to get this thing done. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And it's great. And it's, I think if there's one mindset thing that I would put in people is just have the grit.
Yeah.
Undervalued trait.
Yeah. Yeah. Just see this shirt says grit.
Yeah. Just grit. It's huge. It's everything.
That's it. So, as far as marketing, so talk to us about your feature only pages, and then go from there to Clear Channel on radio. So talk to us about why are you featured? I mean, what did you accomplish?
Yeah. So when it came to lead pages, we did. So we had a webinar campaign that we did for our family business, my mom's accounting firm, and we basically did $72,000 in about 28 days through this webinar technique that I implemented. And what we basically did was we created a really, amazing webinar. I wrote the whole entire webinar. She went into it and presented the full webinar. We drove Facebook ads to get people on there. We did messenger retargeting to make sure people actually showed up to the webinar, which is an undervalued metric. You got to get people to show up if you're doing a live webinar. So we leveraged a technique to get people to actually show up. Once they were on the webinar, we executed a perfectly done webinar to the T. And once people, and this is a really big secret, once people registered for the webinar, I had a survey. And I said, what is your number one biggest issues when it comes to taxes? And I wanted to isolate their false beliefs. And so with me taking that data given by the people who are subscribing to the campaign, I was able to craft a webinar that really addressed every single objection because they were telling me exactly what they wanted. So, you know, the webinar absolutely crushed it. We had an amazing objection sequence, and just that full process, we turned around 72 grand.
In 28 days.
Yeah, in 28 days.
So most people don't think that can be done, right?
Right, for sure.
And it's mindset, false belief. So let's park there real quick and unpack that. So for an entrepreneur, how detrimental are false beliefs in an entrepreneur's business?
Oh man, it's huge. I mean, it's the story that you keep telling yourself. It's the story that you wake up every single morning, you look in the mirror, and you have that same repetitive conversation every single day. And when you're in this game, it's not so much that you're competing. There's competitors in the marketplace, right? But you're competing with yourself.
Yeah. And
that false narrative that you continue to tell yourself every single day can be the absolute death of you. Right. And, you know, one thing I really suggest people do, because I struggle with that, you know, I struggle with having sometimes that lethargicness or do I got what it takes? Every entrepreneur deals with that, you know, but creating yourself a list of affirmations and mantras where you can quiet the noise in your head and get back to reality is one of the biggest skill sets that you can learn, man. Right. Because you can be a great marketer. We all can do this marketing thing with time, effort, and energy. But this right here, this can take you from 6 figures to 9 figures.
You know, and that's the common theme in people who have been successful. You know, it's the mind, it's the story, it's the false narrative, it's what you tell yourself every single day, and not just in entrepreneurship, but in life. You know, in
everything.
In being a man, being a woman, being a husband, being a wife, being a father, it's like, what do you tell yourself? I was reading a book called what was it called? I forget, but the author is Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Okay.
And he was saying that most people struggle getting up in the morning is because they get up thinking about what happened yesterday. You know, what's the story? But if they have to be somewhere new that morning, they're up and they're ready to go, right? Because that's new to them, right?
Yes, 100%.
They're not rehearsing the same story. And for me, it was true because I remember a long time ago when I was working, it would be sure to get up and go to work. But if I was like getting up to do something new, I was up and ready to go early, right? You know, going to a concert, going somewhere really early. So it's really the story that we tell ourselves every day, and you know, we have to change the narrative, right? We have to change who we are, because our mindset can be our biggest asset, or like you said, it can be our biggest curse.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one thing that I did was I created this board, and I just put an avatar of myself. And I put every single thing that I wanted to be on this board. And I look at it every single morning. It's in my room. And it's people that I admire, the personality trait that I have, everything about myself that I want to project to the world. And as entrepreneurs, you need that reminder every single day. It's like an alarm clock, right? It wakes you up every single day. And having something like that in your life where you look at that, and it kind of refocuses you and realigns you to, okay, that's my North Star. That's my Polaris star. That's where I'm heading. Let me refocus, realign. This is who I am.
Yeah. You talk about affirmations, and a lot of people think that's like, you know, some woo stuff, right? Affirmations. I am this, I am that, I am. So, you know, it's, and again, going back to expenses, it's like, you know, and it's just like, it's like whatever you focus on becomes your reality, right? If you focus on what you don't have, you're going to get more of what you don't have.
Yeah.
Right? focus on what you want. I mean, and we can call ourselves, I'm a 7, 8 figure, 9 figure, econ builder. My current firm versus 500 million per year. It may not be there yet, but we're projecting, putting that out there every day versus I don't have money for gas, I don't have money for groceries, I don't have money to pay my light bill. But you're going to get more of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
More of that.
Exactly.
So that, I mean, I'm a big fan of affirmations, and
Huge.
if you guys are not writing stuff down like every day and reading your goals, because I wrote like 3 paragraphs of how I want my life to be, right?
Absolutely.
And read it every single day.
Yes.
99% of things that on there I don't have yet, right?
Right.
But I'm reading it and I'm putting it into my mind every single day, right?
Yeah.
Every day, and versus I don't have $1,000. Well, I'm gonna continue not to have $1,000. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So our affirmations is really real in my life. So from where do you go from here? Like, what are you working on now? I mean, I know that you were really big, help people scale their business to 7 figures as far as information products.
Right.
So where are you working in now other than the accounting?
Yeah, so definitely, when it comes to the accounting and the tax space, that's a space that I really want to own. I really want to put my flag into and really just own that whole entire space from an internet marketing perspective. So what we're working on right now is a company called taxprogrow.com, where we work with accountants and we help them scale to 7 figures with different marketing and sales tactics.
Okay.
Within our family business, we've scaled that to about 7 figures, and we have a really good systems and process on the marketing side and the sales side, and really bringing that engine and compile it into an information product that can really help these other companies scale, because a lot of accountants are more old school people. They're numbers people. They don't think like me and you. Right. And that's mostly a lot of older business owners, and they're a huge demographic of those people. So if you can introduce something new to that demo and show them that you just don't have to get business through referrals. You can get them through Facebook, through LinkedIn, and all that good stuff. It could really be something special. And those are the 2 networks I really want to own right now is, the tax space and the accounting space, and just plant my flags.
Yeah. And the accounting space, like old school numbers, right? I mean, so it's
numbers, yeah.
Young guy jumping in there, talking to the old school people,
Yeah.
One thing that I really ask all my guests is this entrepreneur game, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
Most times you have more in the beginning, more downs and ups, right? While you're building and finding your niche, finding your brand, finding your purpose.
Yeah.
Why haven't you given up? Why have you not thrown in the towel? I mean, why are you still pushing to get this thing done?
That's a great question. I just want to prove to myself that I'm everything I've always said I was going to be.
Nice.
It's an internal thing.
Nice.
Yeah. And everything that I've told myself since I was 19 years old is exactly what I said I'm gonna do, and it's why I haven't given up. It's why I haven't quitted, because I told myself I'm gonna be one of the greatest to do it in this business, and I can't quit on that 19-year-old kid when I told myself that, and that's why I haven't given up.
You told yourself I'm gonna be the greatest.
Yeah, I did. Absolutely.
So you're gonna be the GOAT. Right.
Absolutely. That's what and everybody should have that mindset when they go into the business, right? Yeah. You want to be one of the best in whatever niche that you go into. For me, it's tax. Yeah. I really do want to be one of the greatest marketers in the tax space and own that niche. Or whether you're, a basketball player, football player, or internet entrepreneur, you should want to be the Tom Brady of that business. Yeah. And work like you're the Tom Brady of that business.
I can tell you believe that. I can see it. I can feel it. You believe that you're the best. I mean, that's amazing. And congrats on that. So, are you still like your growth level from this point? It's been mostly due to marketing, or due to word of mouth? So I know that the accounting industry is, like you said, numbers and old school people. How do you find the majority of the clients? Is it online? Is it word of mouth, or
It's online, definitely. So for us, we have a webinar campaign that's set up that we do an evergreen webinar, and that's our consistent, conversion machine that we implement that consistently gets us business. Okay. So Facebook and YouTube are our greatest customer acquisition channels for us. And as well, we do have word of mouth, but like I said, I'm a systems person. $1 in, $3 out. I'll run the system all day long.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So you've taken your competitive spirit from sports and brought it into business. So are you still playing sports? I mean, how much do you miss it?
I miss sports a lot. I'm a huge basketball fan. I'm a huge football fan. The Lakers, we just got Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. We're looking good. But as per playing sports, no, I don't still play sports, but, go to the gym. I still play ball. I still do all that type of stuff, and I work out as well. And that's super important as well.
You still have that competitive spirit, huh?
Oh, absolutely. It'll never go, man. It's just you.
Yeah, that's why I did a post a while back on Facebook and just talking about really business and being a champion, because when I was in high school, we won championships, and I was saying how when you come from a championship mentality, I mean that's all that right? You have to win. I have to win. I may lose this game, but the next one I'm coming back, and I'm doing it. And the guy who wrote, I think it was Tim Grover.
Okay.
He wrote Relentless, and Tim Grover was Michael Jordan's coach, right? And after every single game, whether Jordan won or lost, he looked at Tim and said 5, 6, or 7, right? It's like, and that meant, what time are we in the gym tomorrow morning? 5, 6, or 7, because no matter if you win or lose, you have that championship mentality where you want to get better, right?
Absolutely.
And then, talking about the Lakers, I'm a huge Kobe fan, right? I mean, we got LeBron now, but me, it's always Kobe over LeBron, right? Always, right? Of
course.
And Kobe was being interviewed, and I think it was a series that they were up 2-0 over some team in the finals, right?
Okay.
Kobe sitting there, just still face, answer questions, and the reporter says, "Kobe, why are you not smiling? You guys are up 2-0."
Right.
Kobe says, "The job's not over yet." Right? The job is not over yet. Once we finish the job, then I can smile. That's that championship pedigree, right?
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, and that's what we all have to have, especially as entrepreneurs. You can't go in there weak-minded, right?
No, not in this business.
You can't go in there, oh, I made $1, the job is done. No, it's because you can climb. I mean, in e-com, you can have a good day, good week, good. Next month,
down the drain.
It's going, right? So you have to maintain that, and it all starts up here. You have to educate your mind. Like you said, you go to the gym. As you lift more, you get stronger, right? That resistance. And the same with our mind. We gotta work on our mind, put stuff in there, and the more we read, more we study, when we talk to people like you, we get stronger.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always ask my guests before wrapping, give us 3 action steps as entrepreneurs we can take right now to move the needle and get to that next level. 3 action steps.
I would say when it comes to, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to go out and start your own thing and do your own thing, I think the first one is find something that you truly love and don't discount something that you think is a hobby and it couldn't be turned into a business. Like for me, I love clothing. I thought to myself for a little bit that, man, that can't be really a business. But there's somebody out there that's just like you who values what you do and what you're about. So don't discredit what you love and what you enjoy. The next word of advice that I would give an entrepreneur is start reading and digesting books that aren't just business related, but are mindset related. And really start studying some of the best athletes, some of the best entrepreneurs, and get an understanding of their mindset and developing that grit even before you start working on your skill set when it comes to marketing or ads or this or that or whatever. Because you got to have that bulletproof mindset because you're going to go through the mountains.
Yeah.
Then the next step, I would say, trust yourself, trust the process, believe in you, have an unwavering faith, and just know it's going to be a marathon.
Yeah.
But if you trust in yourself, trust in your craft, and you put in the consistent work, the results will show for themselves because you can't play the game. The game is always true.
Yeah.
And if you put in the work, it'll consistently give you an outcome.
Right. All right. So number one, I'm taking notes. Find something you love to do and don't discount it because you think it's just something that you love. Right?
Exactly. 100%.
Number two, start reading books other than business, and then study athletes. So give us a book that you can recommend that we can read other than business, as you were saying.
So I'll give you a documentary that's even better. So there's a documentary by Kobe Bryant called The Muse, and that documentary really changed my mindset because you saw the ups and downs in that man's life and how he had to almost change himself throughout that process to become the champion that he is.
Right. I saw that.
And I think that's a great place to start, watching The Muse and just seeing his mindset shift and trying to put yourself in that mind state, because it doesn't matter if you're an athlete or entrepreneur, we're still playing the same game.
Yes. Yes.
And there's harmony in both.
Yeah. And number three is, I think it's a big one, is trust yourself. Right.
Huge.
That's a big one, because it's funny because people all around us can have trust in us, can believe that we can be this great person, but if we don't believe in ourselves, it's never going to happen.
Never
going to happen. And I was watching and just going back to creating. I was watching the documentary "I'm Not Your Guru" by Tony Robbins.
Oh, beautiful.
And he said something that stuck, and he said that this man you see today, that who I am today, Anthony Robbins, I had to create this motherfucker, is what he said.
Yeah.
Create him. It's like, whoa, so wherever you want to be, you go out there and create, right?
Yep.
So how do we find you? Website? Instagram?
Yeah, no, definitely. You guys can definitely find me on Instagram at KKRDennis. Then as well, you can go to my personal website and check me out at kenneth-dennis.com.
Okay.
And reach out to me. You guys are more than welcome to, email me or different things like that. Follow me on Instagram so you can kind of stay up to date with my content, and we can definitely chat from there.
Perfect. So, again, thank you. So any closing words for our viewers? I mean, anything that comes top of mind in closing?
I think at the end of the day, just like Tony Robbins said, build who you are.
Yeah.
Trust who you are. You weren't born a certain person. You can create who you want to be, and you can create the lifestyle that you want. Don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. And just like Tony said, build that motherfucker.
All right, build him. All right, guys. Now you see why I had to have this man on the show. So it's now time to get up off the computer, off your seat, and go take action to creating the lifestyle that you want in your life. Will it be easy? No. Will you have bumps and bruises? Yes. Will it be worth it? Hell yes. All right. So it's now time to take action. So thank you, my brother, for being on the show. I appreciate your time. I know it's very, very valuable. So we will definitely chat soon. So you guys go out there and make it work. Thank you for watching Born to Create, guys, and we will talk to you soon. See you next one. Bye.